Good morning and welcome to the Stahls TV Morning Show. I'm Josh.
And I'm Zach, and we have a great show for you today. A couple things to talk about. We're going to talk a little bit about screen printing, but before we get there, we want to talk about our travels. Keep everybody updated on where we're going to be, how you can come see us perform. We're going to sing a few songs this week.
Not on Stahls TV.
Not on Stahls TV, no. But it'll be recorded by Stahls TV.
Yeah, absolutely. So January is a busy month for travel. So far this year we've banked the ASI show in Orlando. January 2nd, I believe we went down there.
Yep.
A group just came back from PPAI, I got that right?
You got it.
Which is a promotional product show out in Vegas.
Yeah.
And we're getting ready to take off here in a couple days for ISS Long Beach,
right.
Which is one of my favorite shows of the year for several reasons. Number one, it's sort of the launch party for the decorated apparel industry. Everybody's showing their latest stuff. There's a jam-packed conference schedule. We're giving a lot of classes, Stahls TV, but there's just a lot of education happening there. And the attendees, viewers, show up at that show.
Yeah, they absolutely do. From T-shirt forums, they have meetups there at that show. They're known for that. To just folks coming back to the Stahls booth year after year to tell us what they're doing this year, what's new for them, and what's going to help them be successful in the new year. So it's an exciting show for us. It's also exciting just because of weather concerns for those of us not out on the left coast out there. It's about 9 degrees today, so heading to Long Beach is nice for some 60, 70-degree weather.
Yeah, and we are taking Stahls TV camera crew with us to the show, so we'll be able to share some of those trends back on the Stahls TV morning show. Not next Monday, because we'll be flying back on a red-eye flight, but the following week. So next week's show will be pre-recorded, but we will have a morning show, and it'll be about decorating headwear.
Yeah.
So today we want to talk about screen printing, and specifically screen-printed transfers and the benefits that it can have for an apparel decorator. Whether you screen print in-house, contract it out, don't offer screen printing at all, this is a viable way to really screen print apparel.
Yeah, and the vast majority of our viewing audience here this morning, you voted before the show started that most of you don't offer screen printing at all. So screen printed transfers is really a great way to do that. We actually spent a lot of last week, while some folks were at the PPAI show, a lot of us were also at Stahls Transfer Express learning all about the screen printed transfer process and how it works. And to kind of oversimplify it, just to give you an idea of how it works, basically they're taking a piece of paper, using the screen print process, which is somewhere between, depending on how you do it, 17, 19, upwards of 20 different steps to screen print a shirt.
Yeah.
We walk through. And they're doing all of that for you. So they screen print to a sheet of paper in reverse and send it to you to be heat applied for anywhere between 4 and 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's an eye-opening experience for a lot of our reps when you actually get to visit a factory and see what happens there. And Transfer Express sort of embodies technology in apparel decorating with everything that they do, not only in the simplified way to get the screen printed transfer and make it easy for a decorator, but even some of their design tools, which we're going to have a chance to walk through this morning, and leading in technology for allowing you to customize, create, and really sell product as well. But before we dive too deep, for those of you that don't know what a screen printed transfer is, we'd like to go over to the heat press and heat apply one. And I'm pulling this sample out of the Transfer Express marketing kit, and we'll go completely through the marketing kit and what all is included. But ultimately, you get the sample. It says, try me now, apply 365 degrees for 4 seconds, and peel hot. So there's no guesswork. And of course, we're using our Hotronix Fusion heat press that we have on all the Stahls TV morning shows. And there's even a t-shirt included for you to decorate your first shirt. And we are going to just, you can split and thread this shirt onto the heat press. For just basic t-shirts, if you want to save some time and go fast, you can just lay the t-shirt flat onto the press with the collar hanging off of the edge. We're going to do a quick preheat just to get the moisture and wrinkles out of the press. And the beautiful thing is, it's already screen printed. It's created for us. So we have the ink on the paper. This particular one is a 4-color design, but it's all completed in one application. So I just make sure that I lay the transfer the right way onto the shirt, which I almost did incorrectly because I'm used to loading upside down with threading this. And then I'm going to press it down 365 degrees for 4 seconds. Now, some of the benefits here, not only is it quick and easy, we call this transfer style goof proof, which means you can't really mess it up, but also you see I'm not using a whole lot of space. There's not a whole lot of mess. There's not a whole lot of cleanup. So if you want to start offering screen printed apparel quick and easy, you can get these screen print like results with just a heat press, which is a lot of the power of Transfer Express.
Yeah, absolutely. So this was item 1 from the Transfer Express marketing kit. And the marketing kit is just that. We're going to walk through it piece by piece for you to where you know what you're going to get and how to get started with Transfer Express. But the idea is to market your screen print services, because basically you become a screen printer by offering screen printed transfers. This is the same finish as screen printing. It lasts just as long through the wash as screen printing does. Now, most of us know that uneducated customers walk into our shops every day, and when they want a decorated shirt, they say, I want a screen printed shirt, because they don't have the education that most of us do on all of the different decorating technologies and what's really involved. So you can actually give them a screen printed shirt with Transfer Express screen printed transfers. So that's item number 1 that comes in the Transfer Express marketing kit. Item number 2, and you'll find that most of these are sales tools for you. So this is the Transfer Express Idea Book. You can see it comes personalized. This one was made specifically for Josh Ellsworth. You can give Transfer Express your business name and they will print it on this idea book, because this is for you to sell. You won't find throughout this idea book Transfer Express's name at all in here. So when you open it up, this is actually for your retail shelf, to where a customer can come in, and this speaks directly to your customers on how to get started choosing a transfer with an idea book. So what Transfer Express does is they have thousands of templates and clip art for different applications. So here you see caps and legs and sleeves. Here you see some alternative looks. There's a large section on sports broken down by baseball, softball, soccer, football, so on and so forth. But as your customer flips through here, there is letters and numbers assigned to each particular design and each piece of clip art, and they can actually change out what they want and make their own transfer, make their own screen printed shirt, and you just place the order for them.
Yeah, it's a sales tool, really. So when you're sitting face to face with a customer, or you have a customer in your shop, you have this sales tool. There's also a black and white version that comes in the marketing kit that you can actually leave behind at a customer, and you can order extras of these as well if you want to leave it with the customer to look through. But it's basically a mirror copy of that, and then of course you get the price guide as well. So you pick a layout. You can look it up online in the Easy View Designer on Transfer Express, and then you can start to customize. So yeah, visualization and creating virtual samples is half of the battle here. But now we have a physical tool to allow customers to sort of glance through, pick the style, and then we can customize. And we'll show you how to do that momentarily.
Yeah, and the nice thing is, if you are not an artist or your customer is not an artist, it just makes it easy, because there's all different types of artwork that's in there. There's actually more even available online than there is in the catalogs. If they printed all the art that they had in the catalog, it'd be super thick and your customer would get confused looking through it. So they picked the most popular, put it in the catalog for your customers to choose from. But if you need more options, they have it. So in addition to that idea book, you also are going to get some more marketing and back-end application materials. So this is a sticker that you can put out in your shop that basically says you offer custom printed apparel. In addition to that, for your heat press operators, you can see we have application instructions for all of the different transfer types that Transfer Express has to offer. So this is printed on a repositionable wall graphic, so it can be placed anywhere in your shop, wherever you're going to be pressing, to where you never have to kind of reference back to the catalog on how exactly to apply a Transfer Express transfer.
Good. Yeah, one of my favorite things that's in the box is next, and that is the no, not that.
Not the
well,
coupon.
I like the $10
Coupons
off coupon.
are nice.
That's helpful. But I like the display samples.
Okay.
So there are 30 display samples in here. So there's a bag full of transfers. That's not going to give you very much. So let's switch to a photo of the display samples. And so you can see you have all of these projects that you can create. Now, you'll have to source your own blank apparel, but good news, Transfer Express offers blank apparel as well, and customize. So you'll see the different designs and styles, and they've made it in such a way that you can begin to create stuff and hit some of the top markets that are out there, and varying markets. So there's sports transfers, There's a wide variety of those. If we flip over to the back of the brochure, we have even some full color options that are available now with their stretch litho that appeals to cheerleading market, family reunion designs. And you'll see a lot of different product names on here as well.
Right.
And Transfer Express's screen print transfer line is pretty easy to understand. You have the goof-proof transfer that we just applied.
Right.
That's your basic. That's their #1, #2 seller. It works great on cotton and poly, but it presses at 365.
Right.
So then you have a low temp option that's Elastiprints that is good for your performance apparel. If you understand those two, you have the Battle 1. And then
Right.
if you want a little softer feel, you can go to a hot split transfer.
Right.
Those are their top 3 transfers, and then we start to get into special effects. So,
Yeah, special effect finishes, glitter, pearl finishes, those types of things. But if you know goof proof, stretch litho for full color graphics, and Elastiprints, you'll be good to go.
Jinx.
That's good.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So those are the display samples, and folks always ask at the trade show, "Hey, can I have samples to make a display that I can sell? That I can have samples for my sales reps?" You can buy these display samples. You can actually buy refillable display sample only packs. You don't have to get the whole marketing kit. So you can equip your road reps or your different showrooms with all of the samples that your heart desires with Transfer Express.
Yeah, and the nice thing is there is a sample of all of those different finishes in here, so your customers can actually touch and feel what a screen printed transfer feels like, and they'll think that it's screen printing.
All right, anything else left in the magical box?
Numbers,
Numbers, okay.
which is a good one to touch on. If you are looking for more than one color number options, if you need 2 color combinations and you don't want to cut, weed, and apply 2 times, you can get a screen printed transfer number from Transfer Express. It all applies in one easy step. And the nice thing about these numbers, you can see the grid lines on the back here, but each number has about a 1/2 inch of, or 1/4 inch of spacing around the outline. So you can literally just put the 2 numbers together and your spacing is done for you.
Good. And then the last thing we have in the box is our color selector. So, of course, the display on the computer screen or the printout in the book isn't always 100% accurate. So you actually have physical screen printed samples of the different ink colors that are available to share with your customers. So just all in all, a great tool, not only to understand your transfer vendor, but to sell with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Throughout the process. So I think there's a question that came in. So Taylor, if you want to read that on air to us, that'd be great.
How much does the box cost?
Oh, cost. Is that important?
Yeah, well, probably.
Yeah, so the marketing kit, if we want to move over to my computer screen, I'll bring it up here for you on transferexpress.com. The complete kit is $49. And then you can simply type in your personalization directly on the kit to make sure your name gets printed on the book. But for $49, you can get completely set up with this kit, which also, if you've never done business with Transfer Express, enables you to get your account set up and your login for perhaps the most powerful tool, which is the online art generator called EasyView. So if you're interested in the marketing kit, I guess you can just type in, call me, and we'll give you a call. We'll actually extend a little specialty on the kit or some free shipping or something, and we'll get you set up after the show. So let's go through the designer. If you log into transferexpress.com, you have your account set up because you've purchased transfers or the marketing kit. You really want to start with the best free t-shirt designer in the industry is how they tag it on their website, and it's called EasyView. So I'll click on that, and that instantly brings me up to a quick start screen where I can choose idea book layouts, idea book clip art. I can resume from my last session, start from scratch. It has all of that information ready to roll for you. So if I want to choose from the idea book layouts, you want to pick a layout for me?
Sure. Let me grab my idea book.
All right, and then you can browse through here, sort by the newest ones that are added to the oldest ones, so you can see the latest design style. You can save stuff to your library, or you can look something up in the idea book that you like and bring it up.
Let's see. Let's pull a school design.
So we have an indecisive customer over here.
We do. An easy one would be class of 2016, so QC0-91.
So we get right to the school design that the customer likes or is looking at in their copy. I can bring it up onto the screen, and it will drop it straight onto my transfer sheet. So the visualization that we're getting here is the standard sheet size, which is 11 1/4 by 14. And there are a ton of options here. Number one is all of this is customizable. So I can select objects, I can size them independently. Maybe this is for the freshman class instead of the senior class, so I can type in freshman. Did I spell that right?
Yes.
Click OK. All right, and it drops right onto your screen. I can size different components. I can rotate. You can do all that directly within the designer. If it's not Compton's finest, maybe it's Fairchance, PA, which is where I was born and raised. Drop that onto the screen, and you can see it even has an outline built into it, so it looks correct if it's overlapping here on that text. If I want to change anything about the text, such as a font, whatever I have selected, my edit tool show up in the left-hand panel. So there's a variety of fonts that you can work from already in the system. You can change your character spacing with just quick commands, plus and minus. You're seeing that adjust on the screen. I can punch in an actual size and key that in, or I can just grab the handles and size it. If I want to change color, I can see those exact colors that are in my color selector. So let's say we want a pop of neon on here and neon orange, and you know what? Let's make this neon as well to match. So you can completely customize and create. If I don't want the eagle clip art, I can delete that, or I can swap it. So is there a clip art in the idea book that you'd like to select? We can do that, or basically you can just delete it. You can click add clip art, and you can search by category. So perhaps the mascot that we're looking for here is, let's just say, a bulldog, and all of these bulldogs. So a lot of the power is the art library itself that's been created for you. So you don't have to spend the time or the cost creating art from scratch or purchasing expensive clip art packages when it's all built in, and you can create it right within the designer. They always say you're paying for the whole sheet, so why not use the whole sheet? I can move this over to the side if I have this designed to size, and you know what? Maybe I want some other bulldogs, so I can start to make copies with just copy and paste function on my keyboard, and then I can duplicate those down the side to whatever size I want, and I can use these as sleeve prints. I can perhaps even get a front chest print rotated around the side here, but basically use the whole sheet you're paying for it. All I need to do is trim this part off when it comes into my shop. Now, the cool thing is, this is ready to give me a price as soon as I punch in an image quantity. So what I can do is I can say, let's give me 48 pieces for this particular job, click OK, and it's instantly going to take that particular thing and give me a price. But obviously I've exceeded the maximum size. So let me bring that into the side. Where am I? Oh, okay, I see. I'm extending on the right-hand side of the screen, actually. So if you look close, you'll see that my clip art is extending off of the sheet. It's broken the page. So I just need to select that and just move it off to the side so I can get a quote.
Okay, so we need a...
Okay, so it gives you a price of $3.89 per sheet. It also gives you some tips along the way. In this case, the neon color that I selected can only be applied to white color. So it's smart, and it gives you the tips, so you make sure that you don't mess up the job. So if I want to switch this back to a standard orange color, and let's go back because I was just looking for an orange shade, I can do that, and then it will update the price per sheet. So you're looking at $3.89 per sheet for this two-color job. It gives me a total price and a ship date, and it also gives me smart ways to reduce my costs. So actually, by ordering 2 extra pieces here and getting to 50, I hit a price break where I'm going to save $25 on the order. So that's a no-brainer, right? Let's update to 50 pieces, and it brings my sheet cost down because I hit that price break. Of course, you can choose a fabric type here to make sure the transfer that you've selected is compatible with your fabric. You can do a drop down and a change out to whatever transfer type and get your price point. So if I wanted this in hot split, it's no price change. Elastaprints, it's 50 cents more per sheet. Is an easy way to remember it for pressing to performance wear.
So 2 of the most exciting things about the designer outside of the ability to design is, 1, you can actually give your customer the ability to design as well. All you have to do is click a button on the top right-hand corner of the screen and switch it to design mode, and all of those prices disappear. So your customer can walk into your shop if you have a laptop set up or a computer station, and they can actually do the design work as well. And then on the bottom right-hand corner, you can preview and share. So you can throw the graphic onto one of Transfer Express's apparel items and show it to your customer as a finished product. And then when you go to place the order, it can add that to your cart automatically, and it knows the product number that you showed them for apparel as well.
Yeah, and actually, if we go back to the screen, I'll show those two functions real quick. So number one, in the top right-hand corner, design mode, if you switch it to customer mode, that gets rid of all the Transfer Express branding, as well as all of the pricing information as well. So those are options for you. And then the preview and share option, you can click the button. I'm going to get it down to one particular design to preview and share. It pulls up a visual of that. You can share it via email, or you can pick your blank apparel item in color that you ultimately want to display it on, size it for the virtual sample, and go from there. Of course, you can change the watermark from Easy Prints to your company name, email directly from the system, or share manually, where you basically export a digital version out and send it to the customer. So extremely powerful. They've thought of everything from the ability not only for you to screen print in-house with just a heat press, but also sell screen printed apparel all the way through from concept to delivery.
Yeah, and if you want more of a tutorial about all of the tools that are available, all the effects that are available, Transfer Express has a webinar available that you can watch online. I believe it's at transferexpress.com on their YouTube channel.
Yep, and then we'll also be coming out with tons of videos on how to design an easy view as part of our initiatives here at Stahls TV, so you can look forward to that. We're excited to play with the system and order a lot more transfers now that we have our 2016 marketing kit.
Yeah, for sure. So I believe a couple questions came in. Taylor, did you want to read those off to us?
Yeah, we have a few questions. Can you use your own artwork or your own font?
That is a great question. Can you use your own artwork or your own font? Short answer on your own artwork is yes. You can't load it directly into the system, but if you contact Transfer Express, you can pay a small fee to have your art loaded into the designer. So we recommend that you use it with clip art that you may be using over and over again for a repeat customer, because you're going to pay, actually, after you order the transfers once, I believe it's a $15 fee. If you want to just get it loaded in initially, it's a $60 custom clip art fee, but then it will be in there for you to use on any design that you want.
Yeah, and on the font question, I don't know the answer. It doesn't appear
Yeah.
that you can use a custom font. I believe you could use your custom font, but it would sort of create it like a custom design. And basically, Transfer Express has two pricing models. They have pricing for stuff that's created within the system or from the idea book, and then they have completely custom pricing. And so that custom font would then fall into the custom pricing.
Correct.
Is there a chance they will integrate with CADWorks Live so the CADWorks templates and clip art will be treated as their own artwork?
Good suggestion. The EasyView Designer is actually powered by CADWorks technology, so I can see the opportunity for doing just that. So I think that's a good suggestion.
Yeah, and if you have suggestions, we can take them to Transfer Express, and you can make them there as well. And they do look at those on a weekly basis and assign priority. So they do take suggestions, and new versions of the designer have been available pretty much every week or two. They're adding updates to it.
Yeah. All right. What else, Taylor?
Okay, another question just came in. Can you provide the palette colors to use in other designers like Deco Network? I'm not sure how to pronounce that.
Deco Network,
Okay,
yeah.
sorry.
So I don't believe so. I mean, you have the actual physical samples, but I don't know that they publish RGB values or anything.
They may. I believe we can get the Pantone, and then you can make the conversion.
Okay.
Probably on your own. Yeah.
So in a roundabout way, yes.
Yes.
You can work it through. So the goal of this particular morning show, we think screen printed transfers is one of the easiest ways to get started in the apparel business. So for $50 with a heat press, you're basically screen printing shirts. A lot of folks that have vinyl cutters and are cutting and weeding high quantity jobs should actually be ordering screen printed transfers, saving their business a lot of time and labor, because as quantity goes up, cost comes down with screen printed transfers. So it's great for those mid to large quantity runs. You shouldn't be cutting and weeding a 200-piece order where it's the same design. That's what screen printed transfers are for. You don't have to have screen printing in-house. and you don't necessarily have to have a contract screen printer. You can do it with just a heat press.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are going to wrap up today's show and start preparing to fly out to the ISS Long Beach show, as we said earlier in our session today. Hopefully, for those of you on the West Coast or those of you traveling, please stop by the Stahls booth. We will be there wearing Stahls TV gear, getting ready to perform. So we invite you to come see us. Again, next week's episode will be pre-recorded by Courtney Kay, but it will be all about headwear.
Absolutely. Thanks for watching the Stahls TV Morning Show.